So for the longest time, I've had my first aid kit in one of my bug out bags in this plastic bag. I've wanted to update it, so today I'm going to show you, this is an empty first aid kit that I purchased, and I'm going to show you how I put it together. Alright everybody, welcome back. So I've been updating my travel, this is my travel get home type bug out bag. You don't need multiple bug out bags. You know, I happen to be in this particular business here of reviewing gear, so I end up with a lot of gear and I end up bags from them. But what my bag here is for when I go on vacations, when I go on trips, whatever. If I'm going to take the bag with me, you know, that way I have a little bit of convenience. I can get home if I have to. Again, it's not a complete perfect bag, you know, there's still stuff I'm working on in it. But I went through recently and I updated a lot of the stuff inside. I changed out the food, changed out the water. I do have one little Nalgene bottle of water in there just in case. I am actually currently charging a little charger for it, a little solar battery charger. I do have a new solar panel on the side. Anyway, I decided that one of the things that has to go was the fact that I was storing my first aid kit in this plastic bag. The tricky part was finding an empty first aid kit that would fit it, because I didn't know the size of that, and I wasn't sure of that, you know. So I measured this, estimated it about, that looked about right, and I ordered it. It was $10 on Amazon. I will put a link down below, but this really isn't a review of the bag. Any bag that said first aid on it with a white cross was probably good enough for my purposes. I just didn't feel comfortable leaving all this kind of hanging out here. Now, I will tell you one tip that I do. I make sure that my first aid bag is right on top. So if I need it in a hurry, if I'm bleeding, if I'm injured, whatever, I know it's back here, right on top of my bag. I don't have to dig for it. That's not underneath stuff, and I'm not getting stuff everywhere inside when I'm trying to help myself. There are a few things I will be adding. One of them was a SWAT T tourniquet. It's not a cat tourniquet, you know, but it's better than nothing, and it's flat packed. And my chances of needing it are kind of small, but you never know, so it's handy to have. I went through this kit, and I have updated the meds in it and everything, and I realized I didn't have any Band-Aids. Now, what kind of first aid kit doesn't have Band-Aids? So we're going to be putting some of those in here. I am going to be putting some of these compressed towels in here. They're really handy. You wet them, and they become nice little hand towels. And the rest of the stuff we're just going to take out. So I'm going to take it all out, put it all on the counter here, move that bag out of the way so you can see what we got inside. All right, so getting rid of that bag. That's everything that's going in here. Now, we're going to make sure it fits, because I want to make sure it does. Now, you'll notice over here, and I actually saw that I do have one Band-Aid in here. This is my Stop Bleeding kit. I have my Quick Clot. I have all sorts of ointments and gauzes and everything. I have a wrap down here. So this is my Stop Bleeding kit. That will probably go on top of everything. That way, if I'm bleeding badly or someone else says, I got it right there, yank it out, got it right in place. Got an Israeli bandage. These are very, very handy. They can, in a pinch, be used as a tourniquet if you really don't have anything else. I'd use a belt before I'd use one of these, but it would work. Over here is just my everyday meds, you know, stuff that I take every day. Inside here, we're going to change that out. This little Altoids tin has all sorts of over-the-counter stuff that I might need, you know, Aleve, Advil, all that stuff. Got some Prilosec in there if I get heartburn, an extra inhaler because I have bad allergy-induced asthma. If I'm around things I'm allergic to, it'll lock me up. That'll help. And some soap tabs. They're little thin wafers that are soap, actually. Little stuff like that. I have, believe it or not, I've had this way before the pandemic. This is a little N95 folding respirator. I figure if I'm ever in a situation on a trip somewhere where there is debris or something I don't want to breathe in, I got one of these with me. Now today, we all have like 90 masks in our car, but something like that, kind of handy. Over here, I have one of these in here. This is Sudicon. Given the unrest that we're seeing in cities and towns and stuff, I figured this would be something good to put in here. I could be up in my hotel room on the 10th floor, and there could be a riot going on down on the street, you know, and the cops could deploy tear gas, pepper balls, whatever. That could make its way up to me so I can decontaminate. If I get stuck in a situation, I'm definitely not looking to get into a situation, but if I get stuck in a situation where there's tear gas, pepper spray, whatever, these are awesome. They work very, very well. Again, showed you the Band-Aids. A couple of these little guys here. These are awesome little wet towels, the little things that compress and they open up. And again, the SWAT T tourniquet. So I'm going to get to packing this in here, but the first thing I'm going to do is open this up and change out some of the stuff in there. Alright, so far, we got rid of this. I will save this for something else. But I'm going to show you what I did. I put some Band-Aids in here because I don't want to rip open that Stop Bleeding kit for that one Band-Aid if I get a little cut on my finger. This is vacuum packed up. I don't want to waste that just to take care of a single cut. So I put some Band-Aids in there. I put the little tablets in there, you know, little compressed towels. I have all of my pills. Now I know this looks like some kind of, you know, junkies pharmacy fest, but these are all over-the-counter stuff. It's Aleve, Advil, allergy pills, the little pink ones, some Tylenol PM, a couple of Tums, some aspirin. So that's all over-the-counter stuff that is readily available and stuff I take with me. Very, very handy to have. I'll try and get it flat like that and fold it over like that. Now, up top here, let's fold it back, I have the Sudicon, the N95 mask, and my little tourniquet, my SWAT T tourniquet. Now we're going to put the rest of the stuff in and see how well we can compress it all down. So it's almost all completely packed in there. The only thing we're missing is a fresh bag. So I got a nice fresh Ziploc bag there to seal up. And we're going to be putting our just everyday usable stuff in there. I'm going to go over some of it. Again, I have blood stopper here. But this is a different type of stuff. This is from CVS Health. This is very, very thin. It's like a mesh coating that goes over a bad cut and will stop the bleeding. I have that in here. It's kind of a, you know, quick grab kind of thing. It's not, you know, something like Quick Clot, of course. It's more for just a bad paper cut, something small that you want to stop bleeding. I've got my heartburn meds and all the other meds I take in here. You know, some of this stuff is little tiny packages of aspirin, non-aspirin. You know, the stuff you get in first aid kits. It's kind of handy to have. I do have some Crazy Glue. You may wonder why I keep Crazy Glue in here. It's very, very effective at sealing up a wound. It sounds crazy, but it really does work, and I have used it. Super glue, I mean, again, it's coming out of the factory. It's not like it's going to get stuff infected in it. I do have medical Crazy Glue, and I think the difference is really the price, because I've used this and that and never noticed any difference. It's handy to have just for regular stuff, as well as a serious deep cut when you can't get to a doctor and you need to heal it up. So, this is something, if you guys have ever had tooth pain, let me tell you something. I don't generally have a lot of tooth pain, although I do have a little bit of a gum injury right now at the current time. This is eugenol, or clove oil. This stuff is amazing. It tastes disgusting, but if you have bad pain and you rub this on your gums where the pain is, it will numb it out for hours on end, so it does work. That's another good emergency thing to have. Dramamine, I don't get motion sick, but I never know if somebody else will, so it's handy to keep in there. Again, the camp soap, those little things of soap sheets, handy to have. A little Visine, temporary filling in case you lose a filling. A nail clipper. This is actually a very, very old nail clipper. I've had this since I was a little kid. It's a little Cook's nail clipper. And some Rolaids. Again, I got some in there. I figure an extra one can't hurt. Poison Ivy, Poison Sumac cleaner. Triangular bandage with some diaper pins. So that's kind of handy to have in there, so you can cinch it all up on your arm. When I took my CERT class, they really focused on the triangular bandage. We were using these for eye injuries. We were using these for arm injuries. We were using these to wrap a bad cut. They made us use these for everything, so I figured it was pretty important. I'm going to stick it in a new Ziploc bag. I'm going to put it in here and see if we can seal this baby up, because this is a lot more smaller and more organized than my other pack. So let's give it a shot. All right, got it all in there. Let's try and seal this up now. Hopefully it's thick enough. I think it is, actually. It might be a tight little squeeze, but it's definitely a whole lot more noticeable and convenient, and I'll get into why I wanted it to be kind of obnoxious and red. There you go. Okay, there it is, all set, ready to go. Smaller package than that big, bulky Ziploc bag. Now, why did I want something like this that screams first aid kit? Well, to be honest with you, I started to think about if I needed help. And I'm sitting there lying on the ground with my backpack, and I have to tell somebody, you know, go get my first aid kit. It's on top in, you know, the back pocket. And they're digging and looking around, and all they see is a Ziploc bag. They throw it in the air. That's not it. That's not it. They're looking for something that's recognizable. They're looking for something they remember as a first aid kit. Very easily identifiable. Identifies you on a scene if you're helping somebody, so you don't look like you're causing more problem than you are. Sometimes that could be handy, believe it or not. You know, you want to be seen as, okay, I'm helping this person. Look, I have a bag near me. So it's more of a way to visually recognize someone is helping someone, or a way to visually recognize a first aid kit. Plus, it's a whole lot neater in my bag. So I'm going to stuff this in the bag and we'll finish up. All right, so there it is inside. You'll notice I have my shemagh just kind of stuffed in there on top of it. Fit right in there. Fit in there a whole lot easier than that Ziploc bag. And there you go, nice and neat. I'm going to close that up. So this bag has been redone, and that's an important thing to remember. Going through your gear regularly, okay, just wanted to move the angle. Going through your gear regularly is really important so that you can see what's in there, what's expired, what might have gone bad, what's spilled. I can't tell you how many times I've had stuff spill in bags. I had a rubberized bag in the back of my car that I actually had an extra bottle of engine oil in there that I used for the car in case I needed it. And for some reason, that thing leaked. There were no holes in it. There was nothing wrong. Thankfully, it was a rubberized bag, and stuff didn't get everywhere or all over the seat of the car or the back of the car. So it's good to check out your stuff at least once a year. I try to do it seasons change, every season change. And charge up any devices you have in there. You'll notice I have an O-light on the side there. I'm going to charge that up after we're done here. I want to make sure I'm all set up and ready to go. So that's about it for today. That is my little new first aid get-home bag repack. The bag itself is $10. You can buy it on Amazon. I will put a link to it. They have bigger and smaller ones. So if your kit is bigger or smaller, you can pretty much fill up anything you want in them. And I mean, they run from $10 to $5. This one was the 7.8 by 4.2 by 2.9 inch. They come in 3 different colors: red, gray, and blue. They all have that bright, first aid on the front of them. And they've got a zipper and a handle. Handy little thing for $10. You don't think about it, and sometimes we'll pack up stuff like that because we don't always have an extra first aid bag lying around. And, I always tell people when you're doing a first aid kit, it's important to make one yourself for the stuff you need. You could easily buy a first aid kit over the counter from, say, Walmart or something, get it home and realize, oh, there's all aspirin in there. I can't take aspirin. You want to put the stuff in there that you need. So even if you buy a pre-made kit, always take it home, tear it apart, put in stuff you need. If you take any kind of prescription, I would recommend if you take any kind of prescription that's like a narcotic or something, you keep it in the bottle. That saves a lot of aggravation. Your name's on the bottle. You get pulled over, cops going through your stuff, you see C's, that's yours. But as a general rule, make your own kits because it's so much more convenient. Anyway, that's the video for today. Don't forget to check out our Amazon affiliate store down below here, as well as our Thrive Life link. I have some specials coming up for Thrive Life for next month, so make sure you check it out. Lots of freeze-dried food. Everything's pretty much back in stock there, so you'll be able to get whatever you need before the next rush. And don't forget to check our Food for Patriots link. That is preparewithiridium.com. Really simple. Preparewithiridium.com. We got a special off on that. And next month, I don't know what the special is going to be next month, but they always have some kind of sale on the 4-week kit, so check it out. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.